The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
We're heading over to California right now. A guy named Nick, who owns his own pest control business, was called to a house to deal with a woodpecker that was causing damage to the side of a home by storing acorns in it, right?
So hear him. Look at him go, mate.
Yeah.
So he'd knock a hole in the house and
drop an acorn in there. Yeah. Now, we don't have woodpeckers, so, I mean, I just think the idea of woodpeckers are wonderful.
They just seem mythical to me.
They
because,
do.
You know, Woody Woodpecker.
Yeah, no, that
I
was...
just think he's the only one I know.
I know. There he is there. So he knows that there are acorns put in there and many holes on the outside, so he thought, well, he better assess the damage of what's going inside the walls. So he cut holes into the walls where he was met with a never-ending stream of acorns pouring out. He said they just kept coming and coming non-stop. Acorns were thought to be only about a quarter of the way up the wall. Turned out that they were piled up to the attic of the house. The acorns kept spilling out, totaling around, get this, 320 kilos of acorns.
It's a lot of acorns.
Which filled 8 large rubbish bags.
How's the determination on the woodpecker?
I know.
That is
So
amazing.
What he should have done, he would have got away with this.
Yeah.
Except he kept knocking new holes. He needed to just use the one hole.
I know, but how you
and
get
push
your
them
feeling
around.
and pushing them around. Oh,
Now,
yeah,
if you want to check it out, you can go to our Instagram and there's a picture of how many acorns there were, and
It's a
that
lot.
wasn't all of the
We're
acorns.
going to warn you, it's a lot of acorns.
Yeah, the pest controller said this is really odd for woodpeckers because they store their food all over, just in case, like a bit here and a bit there.
But we don't know. Maybe he had 320
We don't
kilos of
know.
acorns somewhere
That's a good
else.
point.
The bird had completely destroyed the exterior of the house with holes made in it. Nick, the pest controller, said, I quote, "That bird was crazy."
There's something to be said
What
for
a statement.
Something to be said for double brick, isn't there?
Oh, yes.
Spoil that damned woodpecker.
Those California bungalow-style houses.
from the lower floor to the ceiling, it was 20 feet.
Yeah.
20 feet of
With
acorns.
acorns. So many acorns. I mean, imagine if they'd started germinating. You would have had, like, a lot of oak trees growing in your walls.
It's a fair effort. I
It's
love it.
unbelievable. Yeah. He said that he's never, ever, ever come across a problem like this before, and no one
And
in the
there's this
industry has ever come across a
That's
problem
his
like
gig.
that.
That's what he does.
Yeah.
Extraordinary.
This is the terrifying thing when you get someone to come around and help you out with something. You always want it to be, oh, yeah, we've seen this before. When they say, I've never seen this before, it's like, oh, my God.
Panic
And how much it's going to cost. You can't solve it, can you?
Oh, my God. Hey, we'd love to talk to you about something that has happened to you, right, that has never happened to anybody else that you're aware of.
So the professional looked at it and went, ooh, not seen this before.
It doesn't just have to be a professional. It could be you got broken up in a way that no one has ever been broken up with before, you know? So it doesn't have to be something that's been done to you like, through a house or...
Okay.
It doesn't have to be something Woodpecker did to
Yes,
you.
it could be medical,
quite
something
specific.
that no one's ever had
Yes.
before. But something that has happened to you that has never happened to anyone else that you're aware of. Give us a call on 13 24 10. We're going to give somebody $300 Australian dollars.
Woo,
I know,
what?
to spend at the Herdsman Market.
It's so good there.
I know. WA's modern marketplace is ideal for your special Valentine's Day feast. It's all under one roof at the Herdsman Market.
They do have nice flowers there too, so if you are
they?
trying to get something for V-Day, it's a good place to pop into. There's my inside tip. All right, 13 24 10. Have you been in a situation where it has never happened to anybody else but you? You feel a bit singled out,
And
don't
maybe
you?
now telling your story, you might find out that
That's
it
right.
has happened to somebody else.
But not many.
But not many. Because it's so weird. That's a woodpecker. Woodpecker put 320 kilos worth of acorns in this family's home's walls.
by knocking holes in the outside, which was problematic.
And the pest control guy said he's never, ever come across that before and doesn't think a person on earth has had that exact problem.
That's what we're
Brianna,
talking about.
hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good, Brianna.
Okay, what happened that is exclusive to you?
Well, I got invited to my friend's honeymoon. So me and my partner went on their honeymoon. It was great. We went to Hawaii. Best time ever.
Yeah.
Open bar, all-inclusive, great time. The only problem is my partner fell asleep a lot because he drank a lot. And so did my friend. She fell asleep a lot because she drank a lot.
Yeah.
So it was just me and the husband for a bit, and he actually made a move.
Oh, he busted a move on you, Brianna.
On
So did
his
you have a go?
honeymoon.
Did you have a go, Brianna?
Full-on move. Leant in for a kiss, a full-on everything.
No.
I to politely decline, and then I told my friend after the honeymoon, and they got divorced after being married for like a week.
Oh!
This is the best episode of White Lotus ever.
So, Brianna, did he try to defend himself like, I had too much to drink, all that kind of stuff?
I thought
to
you were
her?
her.
But she...
No, he was just like, yeah, I did. And it was just that. He just admitted it. And I was like, oh, thank God, that made my job a little bit easier.
I bet.
So, Brianna, did you tell your partner the next day when he woke up from his drunken stupor?
Oh, no, he would have been so annoyed. I waited a week until I told him, and he wasn't happy about that. But
Yeah, I bet.
He very jealous.
So
I
you
was
didn't
just
say...
like,
So you kept that to yourself while you were holidaying in Hawaii?
yeah, pretty much.
Oh, you don't want to ruin the
You don't want to
holiday,
ruin... Exactly. I'm saying you wouldn't want to ruin it, but that was a big thing to... So then were you trying to make sure that you weren't alone with him from that point on?
Yep, pretty much. It was very awkward. We all went on like a hike as well. And he just kind of like walked back with me, and I'm like, oh, please go away. No.
Oh,
Did you think he might be going to push you into a volcano or something so you didn't,
Pretty much. That's what I
Before
should
he
have done.
goes.
Yeah.
Pushed him down the waterfall.
Yeah.
Brianna, did he try anything else? Was it just that moment, or was...
He tried
you get a feeling?
he tried to repeatedly lay her, Sean.
It was Hawaii.
Yeah. Just that moment, thank God. I avoided him the rest of the time.
Wow. That's full on. Thanks, Brianna. Kylie, hello.
Hello.
Hi, Kylie.
Kylie, what has happened to you that pretty much doesn't happen to anyone else?
Well, it was actually only a few weeks ago. So I'd recently purchased a house up in the hills, so bushfire prone zone.
Yep.
Yes.
I've been spray painting my window frame. So I brought some new pressure pack cans, and I just unpacked the car and put the box of cans from Bunnings. There were 6 of them in the carport. That morning, I completely forgot about them, and then that afternoon I was inside, and I just heard these big explosions and like orange, like through the windows.
Yeah. It's
So
like a
I
colour
ran
run.
outside, and my neighbour was by the fence calling the fire brigade, and I had a look, and the trees right next to my carport were on fire. The flames were up at the roof of the carport, and one of the cans shot across the other side of the carport and wedged right behind the barbecue and the barbecue gas bottle.
No.
The barbecue caught on fire as well. So I'm trying to put these flames out by the trees, and my neighbours they're all kind of semi-retired, all ran over, and I seen the barbecue on fire, and I was like, oh my God,
the gas bottle.
it's going to blow up in my face. So I kind of hightailed, and my neighbour, he kept hosing it down. The fire brigade did end up coming. We managed to put it out, and the guy, I think he was the fire warden at the local fire station, said that in 35 years he's never seen anything like it.
So that was just from leaving...
You've nailed the brief.
Was that just like from leaving 6 spray cans in the heat?
I think so. I'm not sure what it was. They shouldn't have combusted because it wasn't that, yes, it was in the carport. It wasn't in direct sunlight. But, yeah, I found the cans, shot out, 20, 30 metres, completely exploded. And, being in the hills,
Yeah.
yeah.
Where
That
everything's
could be
fire
catastrophe.
prone.
So, Kylie, how do you go with the insurance company? Because you've got to make a call because it's been damaged.
Well, I'm so lucky. I have no idea how, how lucky I am, because the barbecue was at the side of the house, right on the house. It actually didn't cause any damage to the house. Only one pole, the new freshly painted pole that I did, is a little bit charred, but I haven't had to contact them.
Amazing.
That is unbelievable.
Thank
You'd be
you,
frightened
Kylie.
to finish the job, wouldn't
Yeah,
you?
you would.
Let's go to Carson in Bull Creek. Hey, Carson.
Hey, how you going?
Good,
Buddy.
Carson.
All right, so
What
something happened to you that you don't know that may have happened to someone else.
Well, here's one for you.
Okay.
About a year and a half ago, my ex-wife of 8 years divorced me and left me for my 50-year-old uncle, effectively becoming my auntie, and our 2 daughters became my cousin daughters.
Whoa! Actually,
I'm so sorry because that must be terrible, but
you must have been a bit flat with that.
Oh,
how old were you? How old were you, Carson, when that happened?
how long?
Well, we were married for 8 years, and this happened last year.
Carson.
So we're both 30.
Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, it's kind of funny.
Okay, all right. So
Thank goodness.
your ex-wife is now your auntie.
Auntie, yes.
And your daughters are now your what?
Cousin daughters.
Your cousin
yes.
daughters.
Or daughter cousins.
Daughter
depending on-
cousins.
Daughter
How
cousins,
you
yeah.
look at it.
Daughter cousins. And do you guys all hang out?
Sometimes, yeah.
So how
As
did
my
they...
two children live with her.
So how did this come across? Like, what? How? How did it happen?
Great family barbecue or...
Honestly, I have no idea. I don't even know how it happened. Just one day woke up and, oh, yeah, we're a couple down. Oh, crap.
Well, they must have been seeing. They must have been seeing each other. They must have had a
Like a family
moment.
gathering.
They must have hooked up at some stage to be able to go, okay, I'm leaving.
Yes.
I'm walking out the door
Yeah.
to your uncle.
So how old? So she's about 30. Yeah, is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So how old's your uncle?
50.
50.
50.
50.
What?
I mean, that age difference is,
Carson,
it's 20 years. But
how are you cool with this?
Because he doesn't have a choice.
The children.
I know he doesn't have a choice, but
Yeah.
but are you hurt? Like, what?
A little bit.
Of course
But-
you'd
You
be
mean a little
hurt.
bit? I would be.
I mean, that's
But,
insane.
You'd be throwing a few cut lunches, wouldn't you,
Yeah.
your uncle? Sweep the leg, mate.
Did you like this uncle beforehand? Like, was he one of your favourite uncles?
Oh, yeah.
Certainly.
It's one-
That's
it's one-
it,
yeah, it's
that's
one of
it.
her-
It's Mrs.
it's one of her
favourite.
favourite uncles.
It's fuming that he lost his wife, but now he's lost his uncle too.
And is he still one of your favourite uncles?
He's still a cool bloke.
He's lost a bit of the shine. He's
So you-
You are very chill, Carson. I've got to give it to you.
Carson.
Thank you for sharing that
Carson.
story. It's quite painful.
Your auntie wife.
We're going to finish off with Caitlin from Eden Hill. Morning, Caitlin.
Good morning.
Hi,
Caitlin. Talk to us about
How you
something.
going?
It's a bit of an unusual event. What have you got for us?
So about 10 years ago, maybe 12, I was 12 at the time. I'm pretty sure I was 12. I can't really remember. But when I was younger, I used to chew on lollipop sticks. And then I was tormenting my cousin, and I had the rugby ball, and he decided to tackle me, and he jammed the lollipop stick into the back of my throat where my tonsils are.
Yes.
And I ripped it out and ripped half my tonsil with it.
Yes.
So I ripped half my tonsil out, and then I had to go to hospital because obviously it was very, I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And all the doctors, I had that many doctors come into the room because they were like, I've never seen this before, this has never happened.
A ripped
Hey,
And
everyone,
I'm
get in
sitting
here
there,
and look at this.
crying, and they're making me
Come look at
laugh,
this freak show.
Yeah. And obviously, we can't put it back in, but if you really want us to, we can. And I was like, well, no, there's no point.
No,
Reattach your tonsil.
Tonsil.
That would be.
One
I think that
tonsil.
would be the world first reattachment of
Yes.
a tonsil.
Yeah,
So
like,
you
why
end up.
would you?
So you end up just getting your tonsil taken out. Yeah.
Yeah, no, well, I've got one and half of what?
Yeah,
so
half
one and a
one.
half.
So they just left it as all. Did they have to stitch it up at all, or it just healed over itself?
No, it
They
just
just left
healed.
it.
They told me to gargle salty water, and
Yeah.
that was it.
You've got 1.5 tonsils. Oh, I wouldn't like that.
That's unusual.
I don't know. That'd work on my OCD. I just need it to be even.
How about Greg
Or
with
she'd
1.5 fingers?
She'd walk around in circles. 'cause she's out of
don't
balance.
like it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thanks,
they
Caitlin.
were amazing.
Thank you for sharing some of those painful stories.
Nathan, Nat, and Shaun podcast.
I tell you what, I've become so frustrated of late, especially over our break. I've noticed this twice that happened right in front of me. Once when I was at Kmart and a woman walked out with an entire trolley full of goods. The store was just standing there panicking, calling security. I actually ran after her and got a photograph of her number plate when she drove off with all these toys. Because I thought, who are you to be able to do this? Took the photograph back to the people at Kmart and I said, here you go. No, I said, what do you think's going to happen next? And they said, well, our hands are tied. Same thing happened at Coles at Inglewood. A woman went through the self-checkout, didn't even stop, just walked straight through with a trolley. She was stopped on the other end. They said, you haven't paid for your goods. And then she started screaming at everybody and ended up walking out
And just
because
left.
everyone's hands are tied. So when we saw the story about the IGA owners restricting kids under 16 from entering 3 Geraldine stores because of the increased theft and also the danger to their
Yeah, I
staff,
agree with that.
I was not outraged about
No.
their decision at all.
Yeah. Let's catch up with Stuart Bain, who oversees 3 of those IGA stores in Geraldine. Morning, Stuart.
Good morning, how are we?
Morning, Stuart.
Stuart, you must have reached a real breaking frustration point here, yeah, for this decision to be made?
Yeah, I think we've, unfortunately, shoplifting's always been part of retail, but I think we noticed in probably the last 12, 18 months, it's really escalated with probably the brazenness, especially from probably the younger kids as well. So we sort of had to take a few measures to help back our staff up.
Well, Stuart, I guess from the outside we go, is it because the cost of being able to getting these kids arrested, for example, and then them going to court, there's a cost involved and there's a time factor
Or the
involved?
risk to staff, I think, is a bigger factor, isn't it? Is it?
Yeah, I think some of it comes down to these kids are just brazen. Like I was sort of saying yesterday about how, they used to steal a chocolate bar and if they got caught, they sort of handed it over and sheepishly walk out. And now they're getting to the point they know no one's going to touch, especially kids.
Yep.
No one's going to touch them, this and that. They'll grab what they want. On the way out, they'll mouth off a bit and, later on that afternoon, they're back again and they just didn't care. So we just sort of looked back this up. And it's happening later at night where before it was happening probably earlier. Now, 9:30 at night, you can have 10-year-olds come in the store with no adults and, there's no one to supervise them and they just sort of run amok. So we sort of put this in place. Yeah, that's it. They get in, split up, and it's a bit hard, so we thought we were just going to stop them at the entry.
Stuart, it's unbelievable. There's a major department store, won't name it, that their policy is, because I walked in just as somebody walked out with a pram full of clothing, where they just very carefully folded the clothing. They were asked if they could help, if you'd like some help, we'll take it up to the register. They said no thanks and just walked out without paying. The policy at that place is that unless it's over $2,000, they won't let go, and that's it. So my question is, when people are allowed to just steal because there's nothing really to do, the police won't do anything, and your hands are tied because you want to keep your staff safe.
How do you stop it?
How do we stop this?
Yeah, it is a tough one. I mean, when we're dealing with that, we always try and, prevent it happening, and we're probably not going to let people walk out with stuff, to be honest. But it gets to a point, probably with the adults, you can probably take a bit more of a, block them approach. With the kids, it's probably a bit different. And with the adults, they'll, when we catch them or you get the footage and give it to the police, like, they can be charged. Like, they will get charged. With a lot of these kids, it's just, they're too young. System doesn't really want to, they don't know what to do with them, I guess. So they're straight back out again, and the consequence is, we know who you are. Don't do it. Well, on your way sort of thing.
So there's no lesson learned from here, so that they know that I can go in there and, what he's going to do, yell at me, I'll yell at back. Yeah. Who cares? I can get all the freebies I want.
That's it. And, I think, unfortunately, some of these kids, they don't have, their parents aren't the ones who are going to be drilling them about it either. So, there's no consequence from the system and there's no consequence from home. So if I did that as a kid, my parents would have been all over me.
Stuart, what have the police said to you about you instituting this policy?
The police in Geraldine are brilliant up here, to be honest. Not just the police, the whole community's been sort of 100% supportive on this, which has been, we thought there might have been a bit of backlash, but everyone's on it. We met with the police again yesterday, and they support this approach as well. I mean, we already don't serve kids during school hours, unless supervised, just to stop, a bit of the truancy in that, and take away places for them to sort of hang out. And we sort of just extended this to night time, because to be honest, 10-year-olds at 9 o'clock at night, they shouldn't be in a supermarket by themselves anyway. So, the police support that. It's going to help them hopefully not be trying to catch up with these kids if we can sort of just refuse them at the door.
Well, Stuart, I have to say we all agree with what you're doing. I think it's fantastic.
And we're frustrated on your behalf.
So frustrated on your behalf. Yeah. So, well done, mate. Keep doing well.
You're doing
no worries. Appreciate that, guys.
No worries.
Stuart. I do feel sorry for the cops as well, Nathan, in a lot of circumstances when they're dealing with kids.
And they're under-resourced.
They're under-resourced.
They've got a lot of stuff to focus on.
And, I mean, it's a lot to do with, like, larger franchise policies now as well.
Yeah, that's right.
Whether you can or can't touch the stuff. I remember that guy that stopped that woman from stealing that stuff from the pram at one of the auto stores.
Yes.
And then he got fired.
Yeah.
I want to know, 13 24 10, if you work in the retail sector or customer service or perhaps it's even in hospitality, what you're dealing with nowadays and the frustrations, and this is to do with theft, this is to do with shoplifters, this is to do with your safety because people are getting more and more aggressive, and whether you feel like your hands are tied or not.
Yes.
And if
is there a policy in place? What are you and aren't you allowed to do?
Also, if there's any police that are listening that have had to deal with this situation, and just let us know the frustrations that you have as well, because it feels like we're going in one direction, and that is These people aren't getting touched, and there's nothing you can do.
And all the law-abiding citizens going,
Yes.
well, why am I paying? Like, this is outrageous.
Like,
when they're
seriously.
Yeah.
When I
I
was
would
in that
never
department
not pay,
store
but
after that woman stole all those
Yes.
clothing, I went, wait there, why am I going up to the
Yes.
counter now and buying a shirt if you're going to do nothing about
I know.
this being stolen?
So how many did you take?
I took 12.
Good stuff, mate.
You're getting one for Christmas.
Thank you, bro.
Gemma's in Baldivis. Hey, Gemma.
Hey guys,
Gemma,
Hey, Gem.
you work retail?
I both work in a major retail store and in a major food retail store.
Okay, we got
Okay, so you've got a
Yes.
lot of experience in this. Where do you
I
stand?
do.
What's happened?
At the moment, the theft rate is above and beyond, like you say, and the violence towards us as
yes,
workers
the aggression.
has
Yeah.
hit an all-time high. You know, some days is worse than others. All stores are generally trying to put something in place, like our communication between staff members with headsets. The only way we're going to fix this at the moment, I think, is by prevention. So
Yes.
making sure that when you see a customer who sounds really awful, but when they're looking a little bit dodgy or, you know, then you approach them and say, hi, how you
Yes.
going, you know, and make sure that you know that you are watching.
Before they put
Yeah.
the
So
pistols
can I
down
help
their
you?
pants.
Can I help you with anything?
Yeah.
Because once they've got something in their bag or up their shirt, you know,
It's much
there's not
harder.
a lot we can do. No. A lot of places have got undercover security,
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff. So they're preventing it before they happen because, yeah, unfortunately, with the laws that are on at the moment, we aren't allowed to do a whole lot. And when
yeah.
you're having your life threatened,
Yeah.
it's quite a dangerous job. But I really love my job. Like, I
Yes.
really love what
Yeah.
I do.
Yep.
And it's only that small
That's the
percentage that
downside,
make
yeah.
it really, a real
Difficult.
downside.
I tell you, so when I saw that person, like, when the people at that clothing place were telling me that this
Yes.
chick was just folding up clothes and calmly putting them in their pram, and then they went up them. They did
Yes,
the
it's
same
so
thing.
calculated, yeah.
Customer service, like, you know, oh, can we help you? And she goes, no, and just wandered out. You can tell she's done it 1,000
Yeah, that's
times
right.
before, and she'll come in and do it 1,000 times again.
Yeah.
And I just wonder if because they don't go after them, so therefore there's
Yes, there's no consequence.
ramifications
sometimes,
for their actions.
Down the road from us, the major supermarket we go to, Nat. There
don't
was
go
a
together.
couple of the guys, Nate, they went after the people and they walked down and started yelling at them
Yeah.
and then basically took the groceries
But I'm
off
not
them.
talking about the staff, because I understand why the staff shouldn't
Yeah,
have to risk
100%.
themselves for bloody 4 shirts
No,
or
and,
whatever.
yeah.
But I'm talking about, like, what are the consequences from the law? You know,
Yeah.
Like, and then these companies that make the bigger policies of, okay, if it's under this much money, we're not going to worry about it.
I know.
Then that doesn't deter.
There is a
it either.
ramification, Nathan. We pay more. Yeah,
exactly.
That's the reality. It has to be covered
That's why I went
somehow.
after that person and took a photo of the
Yeah.
car.
Thanks, Gemma. Michelle's in Guelph. Hello.
Hi, how you going?
Hi,
Michelle.
You're a retail worker too, Michelle.
No, I'm actually not. I work in an office environment, but I just wanted to talk about what I'd seen at a major supermarket.
Yeah.
Tell us.
Yeah, so twice now recently over the last month. The first time was somebody in a wheelchair that had their leg out front and somebody else pushing them. And the one pushing is handing stuff to the person in the wheelchair and so they can hide it underneath their wheelchair. And then the second time was a big black duffel bag and I turned the corner into a corridor and the girl clocked me in the eye and I was just staring straight at her and she just kept stuffing things in
a duffel bag?
So they're that
Yeah.
brazen that they're not
They don't
even.
even care.
They don't care
I
that
know,
anybody
she
sees
wasn't-
them.
No, just looking me straight in the eye and almost challenging me as, like, what are you going to do about
Yeah.
it? And my husband was with me, and my husband's South African, and this just drives him mental.
I can imagine.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Seeing what it's done in that country. You know, we're scared that's where Australia's heading. Unless we get this under control, like, we're going to end up in the same place.
But people are getting they're getting yelled at, hey, stop doing that, or at the worst, then they'll
Yes.
keep doing it. A big deal.
Yeah.
It's not a deal.
There's no incentive to stop.
No.
And think about how many people's kids work at these supermarkets
Yeah, that's
as
right.
well. You know, this
Yeah,
is their
they're
first
renowned
job,
employers
and
of
they're like,
15-year-olds.
oh my God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And when we're talking
And
about
old ladies, Nathan.
Yes,
when
old
we're
ladies.
talking about these
Dorothy.
teenagers that are getting and doing a lot of that damage, the parenting is disgusting,
Yeah.
or lack of there.
Yeah, well, there's
and
clearly
everybody
bigger
needs to be
social
hard.
issues at
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
And I'm sure the cost of living crisis has driven driven this even more up. But these aren't people just going to get a loaf of bread because they're starving. They're loading up on entire trolleys worth. Yeah,
like that person I saw at Christmas that was just toys, all full of toys. It's like, well, are you serious? And
that's not stealing one toy for their kids.
And that scenario, when I followed them out to the car, right, the four-wheel drive's running. Her husband's in there. He's got the biggest smile on his face.
Yeah,
they've got a really lovely four-wheel drive.
Well, they just knocked off their Christmas shopping.
The back of the car's open. She's piling in presents. Then she dove in the back seat and hid as he drove. And he drove past grinning his face off. And you could tell they've done that how many times.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Let's go to Troy. Hello.
G'day, guys. How you going?
Mine's
a little bit different to everyone else's.
Yes.
Because I own a hairdressing salon. You think, how can people rip you off in a hairdressing salon?
Of course.
Yeah.
Well, guess what?
What?
Guess what they do? People come in, and I won't mention who they are or who they are, but they're quite young, and they will come in and get their hair done. About 3/4 way through they getting their hair done, they like their colour or whatever, they turn around and say, oh, my wage is not going through until tomorrow.
Oh, no.
Sorry, I won't be able to pay. So what happens then is they will give you details, false IDs, false everything, false phone numbers, all right? And then you can't get in contact with them. The other scam what's going around hairdressing salons as well, they will threaten you with bad
reviews.
Yes. And if you don't give their money back, they will do a bad review. So what they do, they will get their hair done. It's great. I had one done, a bad review from this young girl, and it was absolutely terrible. And like all my clients and everything backs me up how good we are as a salon.
Yeah.
But it makes you fuming because what they want is their money back. If they don't, they do a real bad review.
Yes. So they're holding you to ransom.
Oh, my God,
Yeah, to a small business, it means so much.
Yeah, of
you know
course.
what I mean?
Of course.
I cannot believe those two things have happened so much to you now that you've worked out that it's probably happening at other salons.
Oh, yeah, it's happening at other salons because my sister-in-law's got a salon and they do it as well. So it's not happening one, it's happening everywhere.
So you don't want to have to ask for the money up front, but that's clearly what you would do.
Because then think about someone that's not intentionally trying or not planning to rip you off. If you ask them for money up front, they'll be affronted.
Yeah, that's right.
They're like, oh my God! But I mean, you're right. What do you do? Have you thought about a solution, Troy?
Yeah, funny enough you say that. There's some salons out there what are taking 50%
Why not?
nail
like an estimate,
and nail places as well.
Yeah.
They're doing the same thing in hair and beauty. But the problem is, if I get a feeling straight away that, it's a bit dodgy at the start, I'll get them to sign a piece of paper saying, this is your responsibility. You come in with bleached black hair or black hair or whatever. We can only accept what they show you pictures is going to be impossible.
Yes. Yeah.
But you only do your best. As I say to my client, I'm great, but I'm not God.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I only can do so much.
Yeah.
But when it affects your business and also affects your emotionally that you've done your best work and they're trying to get money back off you or they're ripping you off, it just is so bad.
Yeah, well, they're slandering your reputation as well. That's the other
exactly
thing.
right.
That's really important. Troy,
Wow,
thank you so much. That opened our eyes. We didn't know that was going on.
No, we didn't.
Oh,
and I really
thanks to
hope
everybody.
the tides turn, and I really do think this has happened since COVID. I think it's become so more and more rampant since the whole pandemic hit. People got angry.
I don't know. I don't think it's been going on for too long.
No, I'm not saying it has.
No, I know what you're saying.
I'm saying since then, people have gotten angrier. People have gotten more
defiant. You can't tell me what to do,
and more
kind of
selfish.
thing.
Like I can do this because of what I've gone through.
We do. We live in an angry world.
Yeah.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun in podcast form.
Fringe World continues, everybody, and playing Johnny Fox's from tonight till Sunday. Saturday sold out, though, everybody. I checked. The show's called Of Course We've Got Horses. The wonderful Geraldine Hickey in the house.
Yay!
Hi, Geraldine.
Everybody. Oh, my God, I love her.
Geraldine, I've seen you. Normally when you start and you greet people, you normally throw out a swear word straight up. So you've got...
I'll do it now for you. Get that button ready.
The dump button.
Yeah, start the show with Sup Fellas.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. You were telling me outside that your sister is basically a West Australian. She's been over here for 1,000 years.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm staying with her, which is very handy because she has a pool.
Oh, nice.
In this weather.
Yes,
I love it.
What suburb is she in?
Leeming.
Leeming.
Okay.
Leeming, yeah.
I'm like, should I give out that?
No, I used to live down there. Used to cruise around on the pushy.
It's nice. I like, Leeming, and just straight down the freeway.
Yeah,
easy.
perfect.
Yeah. But she married she was a school teacher and turned 21, got her first job in Kalgoorlie.
That's where I'm
Nathan's
from.
home ground.
Yes.
Yeah. So went to Kalgoorlie, met her husband there, and then he's a police officer, and then he got posted to Derby.
Yes, wow, she's really
been
the cream of the crop, isn't she?
Yeah.
I mean, every
She's
country
experienced
town,
Western Australia.
every country town loves a police officer teacher combo. I mean,
I know,
that's perfect.
it's classic, isn't
because they
it?
always need them, and maybe a nurse as well if in there. If
well, my sister was a nurse, and she went and joined them in Derby. So there was a bit where they had all three. Yeah.
Wow.
And then there's me.
Then there's you.
Comedian.
Yeah. The useless one that no country town wants.
Excuse me, you won the best show at the Melbourne Comedy Festival.
I did.
Last year or the year before?
Yeah, but a couple of years. What is time?
Yeah.
Two festivals ago.
Yes.
So Reece Nicholson won it last year.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Which is very exciting because I got to give him, because we're very good friends.
Yes.
And I got to present him with the award, which I loved. So, and it's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Reece is great. He's done that Netflix show, The Imperfects.
Yes.
I think.
Because and this happened like during lockdown. He went over to to do drag race in New Zealand. So he's only supposed to be gone for like a month or two, and then while he was over there, got this job to go to, and they were filming in Canada. So he went over to Canada. So his poor partner Kyron was just
stuck
like
at home in a horrible Melbourne lockdown.
Yeah. Anyway,
That's bizarre, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I know, imagine that. When the whole world's locked down, he's
And
just
your
travelling
partner's
the
cruising
world.
around the world. Yeah, that's bloody...
Now, I know that you got married recently, Geraldine.
I did.
Congratulations.
Is that the ring?
That's the ring.
Oh, look
And
at
that's-
that looks like an NFL player's ring.
I know.
That looks like a championship
Did you win
ring.
the
I know.
Super Bowl?
This is the thing. When I got it, my nephew looked at it and he went, "Do you watch the NBA?" It's quite the ring, and it was actually the engagement ring. So I've had it for a few years, and it's just like Kath, my wife. She goes, "Look, I know you don't wear any jewellery, so I just figured if I'm going to get you a ring, I'm going to get you a
ring.
We're going. We're all
We're doing it. Yeah.
So, but I'm used to it.
That looks like it's something that the Queen would own.
Yeah, or Tom Brady. Either way.
Or Tom Brady.
Rubies and diamonds.
With the wedding, because of course I imagine all your guests were comedians. What happens when a bunch of comedians get together and you add alcohol and party on?
It's
big.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we had a big wedding.
Yeah.
We had a big wedding. Like, how many do you reckon's too many for a wedding?
I think when you get in... I think
I had a couple of hundred.
I think a couple of hundred is respectable because you're bringing your lives, but I think when it gets up to 500 and stuff like that, it's insane.
Out of control.
Yeah.
How many do you have?
230 value.
That's fine. That's fine.
Because we had it at home as well, so it was like, you know, we just had it spit roast and some salads for food.
That's what I think a lesbian wedding would be, because gays go like just like swans and feathers and everyone's draggy but like is it just like, is it more like, like serious, like just something rotating hot meat?
The caterers came in and did
Eskies full of turps.
We had, the beer on tap. And then,
Nice.
and do you know what I really loved?
What?
When you organise a party and you're like, how much booze should we get? How much? And then you get the perfect amount and you just feel really good.
So you don't
about
have
it.
too many leftovers. Yeah, a little bit.
We were left over with like maybe a couple of pints left in the
amazing
in the keg, and then there was like half a bottle of white wine.
That's it. You nailed it.
For 240 people.
That's
Can I tell you, in Kalgoorlie at my 18th, we went through 11 kegs, and that wasn't enough. We had run out.
Geraldine, did you have an MC and official proceedings? Because that would be pretty daunting with everybody in...
Yeah, I know, right? So we were like, obviously we know a lot of talented people, and also we were like, but also we didn't want our friends to work too much, so we actually got my Kath's cousin, who I first met doing stand-up. He was the MC, but he does like a bit more improv stuff, and he lives in America now, so he has the confidence to perform in front of everybody else, but not worry about what anyone else is thinking.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
that's a perfect scenario.
And we got... I had Flower Girls, which were obviously Reece Nicholson and Nath Valvo.
Yeah, perfect.
which was the best because Nath would just stop and talk to everybody. Just had a bit of a gossip with everybody as he was going, and which ended up Reese just pushing him in the back, getting him to move along, and then just slamming flower petals on the ground as he went. We had, talks, speeches. We didn't call them speeches, we called them toasts.
Okay, cute.
Toasts. Because when you go, you can do a speech, everyone talks about the same thing. So we partnered people up and we said, your topic is this. So you have to give a toast to this. And I think Anne Edmonds and Kate McLennan won the best speech. Not that it was a competition.
Yeah.
No, it was.
Everything's a competition. So.
It was. They did a toast to comedy.
Great.
And, just screamed about how they didn't get asked to be bridesmaids.
Can I just say, this is a reality show waiting to happen. If a comedian gets married, and because of the guest list, the way you explain that, Justin, I would love to have watched all of that as a viewer.
Yeah, I missed out on a lot of it, so I would love to have seen. I didn't get to see any of the flower
Was there a
girls,
videographer?
You didn't. We just wanted to be organic, and I couldn't be bothered organising.
Hey, we got a question, right? So yesterday we broke into a bit of an argument because Sean's a secret eater. So Sean acts like he eats chicken and rice in front of us, but really he's on first name basis with the people at Hungry Jack's and the drive-thru. So and then sometimes he tells us. Right. So secret eater over here announced that he had 2 Chico rolls the other day.
Last Friday.
Yes, because we were talking about how long it's been taking us to have Chico rolls. Now, then he said something else that was very controversial to myself.
Are you a Chico roll connoisseur?
I've consumed a Chico roll in my time, for sure.
That does not surprise me.
Yeah.
So Sean thinks that you have a Chico roll with tomato sauce.
No.
Whereas, thank you, you have it just with salt.
Pretty quick on that one, Geraldine.
You have it just with salt, don't you?
Would you put any
what do you
sauce
put on it?
Just salt. Lots of salt. Why, what do you do?
Just eat it.
Just out of the bag.
You've got everything in there that you need.
Yeah.
So what do you want to add to it?
Maybe sweet chilli would be all right.
No,
cheese?
You don't know
Sweet chilli.
Sweet, If that's there, I'd probably...
If that's the only one.
I wouldn't.
Why sweet chilli?
You wouldn't put sweet chilli on
because it goes with the flavours.
Yeah.
No, that's ridiculous.
What, cabbage and carrot?
Exactly that. Yeah.
Why are you putting sauce on it?
Yeah,
well,
you don't
I just thought that's what we do. That's how I've grown up.
It's not what we do.
Because when you have fish and chips, right?
Sam,
so the paper.
Sam, have you got the numbers on this?
Yeah.
So we put it up online yesterday. Sam, have you got the numbers on this, please? Because I need to know.
Okay, so 63% of people have nothing on it.
Yeah,
so no salt, no
A nude Chico roll.
It's not nude.
Just raw dog the Chico roll.
It's enough.
And so 18% salt or chicken salt.
Yes.
And then the next biggest one was the other percentage, which is vinegar or soy sauce.
Vinegar?
So I think it's mostly because people are getting it from fish and chip shops.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like, they're just getting the vinegar and salt over everything.
Yeah, that comes for the chips,
Less than 1%. So it was 0.02. And I'm not good at math, so this could be lies. Tomato sauce.
So
we are in the minority.
Did you join? Is that
I haven't
you?
voted.
Oh,
I
right.
haven't voted. I'm going to take it up over the threshold.
It's the big issue.
I find that insane. Yeah, you're right, Nathan.
By the way,
should be way more.
Do people still vinegar their fish and chips?
Yeah, no.
I think it's a good idea.
Never vinegared. Are you a vinegar girl?
What do you mean?
Vinegar.
Here we
I'm
go
not going to
again.
go vinegaring everything, Sean.
Geraldine, you would
We're
put
unhinged,
vinegar and
Nathan.
stuff on your fish and chips, please.
I wouldn't, but I would. If someone else had put vinegar on it and they went, "Do you want a chip?" I'm like, "Oh, yes, please." Absolutely.
Yeah, but I'll have
lovely
one
manners.
or two of someone else's vinegared
But you're
chips,
not
but I'm not going to
vinegar your
vinegar
own
my own
chips.
things.
No, but think of salt and vinegar chips.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, but you're going there to be vinegared. You know what I mean? I'm not going to vinegar myself.
I know where your mind just went. Geraldine's show is called Of Course We've Got Horses for reasons that we did not get to. Tickets from fringeworld.com.au, of course. Thank you, Geraldine.
Thanks, Geraldine.
Thanks so much. I'm having a lovely time.
You're welcome anytime.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.